We bought the house in 1984. It was small, old, and needed a lot of work. But it had a garden, and my wife, Sarah, said that was all she needed. A garden and me. We were 26 and full of hope, married less than a year. She planted sunflowers by the fence and tulips near the kitchen window. She said she liked when the petals followed the light, said it reminded her that beauty always leans toward warmth. 37 years we lived in that house. We raised 2 boys, watched them leave, watched them come back. We painted the kitchen 4 times. We buried 2 dogs under the old apple tree. We argued, made up, laughed, cried, grew older together. Sarah died last spring. Stroke. No warning. Just one moment she was humming while cutting strawberries, and the next she was gone. I held her hand until the ambulance came. I haven't moved anything in the kitchen since. Last week I finally decided to clean up the backyard. The weeds had taken over. The sunflowers were gone. The tulips never came back this year. I grabbed a shovel and started working near the old tool shed. That's when I saw it, metal glinting under the dirt. I thought it was a coin, but when I picked it up, it was a ring, a wedding ring, not mine. It had initials on the inside, J+S forever. My name isn't John or James or Jacob, and Sarah never told me about anyone else. My hands started shaking. I just stood there in the garden, holding this ring that clearly didn't belong to me, or to our marriage. I thought maybe it was from before we met. Maybe she buried it to let go of someone. But forever? Why bury forever in the backyard? I took the ring inside, placed it on the counter, sat across from it like it might explain itself. That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept replaying things, small moments, like the time I asked if she had ever been in love before me. She smiled, touched my face, and said, "Not like this." Or how she always cried during wedding scenes in movies, always. The next day, I went through her things. I didn't want to, but I had to know. In the back of her closet, I found a small wooden box. Inside, there were old letters, most from me, but some weren't. They were from someone named John. The earliest dated 1979, 5 years before we married. They were full of poetry, inside jokes, little maps drawn on napkins. One letter said, "I'll love you even if the world forgets our names, even if we end up apart. You'll always be my home." Another said, "You said you can't leave him. I understand. But please don't say we meant nothing. You buried the ring, but not us, not for me." But one letter stopped me cold. It said, "That night, you said it was a mistake, but I can't forget it. I can still feel you." And then, in her handwriting, "We were weak. I know it. I'm sorry. But you were never just a memory. You were a scar." I sat on the floor of our bedroom for hours. I read every letter. I felt like I was watching a life I was never part of. I don't think she ever saw him again after she married me. The letters stopped, but she kept them. She kept the ring. She buried it. For a week I didn't speak to anyone. I just wandered through the house like a stranger. I thought I knew everything about Sarah. I thought we shared every piece of our lives. But she had a chapter I never read. I wasn't angry. I was sad. Sad that she carried that memory alone. Sad that maybe a part of her always looked back. Sad that I only found out when she was gone. I buried the ring again, but this time I left a note. It said, "Thank you for loving her. I did too. I hope that was enough." Then I planted tulips over it, just like she used to. They say love is simple. They say it's pure. But maybe love is like a garden, messy, winding, with roots that twist in directions we can't see. Sarah loved me. I believe that. But she also loved someone else. And maybe that doesn't make her less mine. Maybe it just makes her human. And after 37 years of sunflowers and shared coffee and birthday cakes and first steps and long walks, I think I can live with that.